Okay, you've already seen me doing some blocks, and in the process of doing that, you've seen me do a few things. One thing I've been doing is standing like this a lot. The other thing I've done is I've bowed, and when I've bowed, I've stood like this, okay, and then I've bowed from there. So the things I'm going to talk to you about are those two stances. Those two positions of my legs and body are actually called a stance. I have the natural stance and the attention stance. I'm going to teach you those two in this video, and then we're going to talk about the bow. All right, so first of all, let's start with the natural stance. The natural stance is my feet are shoulder width apart. Here are my shoulders, okay? So you see my shoulder width, and I'm going to pull my arms in so you don't see the sleeves sticking out, okay? But the arms, the shoulder width between my feet, okay? So I'm not standing here super wide where more than the width of my shoulders fits between my feet, but I'm right about here, okay? And I'm also not here where this would be, you can see now how my shoulders and the outside of my feet are the same width. This is too narrow, okay? So this is not my natural stance. My natural stance is here, where my shoulder width would fit between my feet. And I want my feet parallel to each other. We judge parallel on our feet by the outside edge of the foot, not by the inside edge of the foot. So if you know anything about the shape of your foot, you know that it's wider in the front than it is at the heel. And so it's more triangular shaped. So we have to take than it is rectangular shaped. Okay, so we have to take that outside edge and align that, and that's what's going to say that our feet are parallel. All right. So when it comes to our martial arts, so the feet are parallel based on the outside edge of the foot. So that's the foot position, parallel to each other, toes straight ahead, shoulder width apart. My legs now, they are working, okay, and they're working in a specific way. My knees are slightly bent, my hips are slightly bent, so that the joints are somewhat relaxed and they can move. My body can move from this position, okay? So I don't want my knees locked back and my hips locked forward. All right, I'm going to show you this from the side in a second. From here, my whole body has gotten rigid and my center of balance is being pushed backwards. So now if I turn sideways, I want you to see what that looks like. So here, this is my natural stance. So my natural stance, my chest is up, my hips are slightly bent backwards, my knees are slightly bent, my feet are parallel, and this makes my ankles flex just a little bit, my knees flex just a little bit, my hips just a little bit, and my balance is up and centered. If I lock the knees back and push the hip forward, I'm going to be in this position, okay? And we see a lot of people that stand like this with their hips or their bellies jutting forward, and people with their knees locked. People stand here, maybe their hips are back and their knees are locked back. So just want to pull my pant leg back so you can see, okay? I don't want that locked back, all right? So when I'm standing, martial arts is about mobility. We want to have stability and we want to have mobility. And that means that we have to be using our body correctly to achieve that. All right? So even in this stance here, our natural stance, we need to have our joints ready to go. Locked joints are not ready to go. All right? So just if you can remember that, locked joints are not ready to go. And if they're locked, we want them to be locked in a position that we can unlock them quickly from. All right? So there is a time for locked joints in our stances, and I'll get to that when we get to some of the other stances. For now, we're going to go back to this one. So natural stance, feet shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent, hips relaxed and slightly back, chest is up, arms are out in front of you, and our hands make fists, and they go in front of our hips. So they're not here in front in the middle like this, they're not raised up here like this, they're not down to the side, they're not turned this way, okay, and back. They're out in front. You can see the spiral of my fist here, okay? And I should be able to see yours as you stand here like this in front of me. So the natural stance, like this. And I'm not tense in this position. I'm relaxed, all right? So then another name for the natural stance is the ready stance. And what that means is that from this position, you should be able to feel ready to move in any direction, okay? So if suddenly I had to go over here, I could do that from that position. Whereas if I'm locked and I have to go over there, it's not going to be quick. It's really hard to move with your legs locked. Okay? Also, from this natural stance, maybe I could kick really fast. Okay? Or I could move sideways just a little. Whatever it is you need to do from that natural stance, you can do if your joints are relaxed and ready to go. All right? So this is your natural stance. We stand in this a lot. We use this for most of our just standing listening. We don't really use this for a lot of martial arts per se application, but we do use this position a lot for learning techniques. So all of your blocks, you should be standing hopefully in this position, in a nice natural stance while you do your blocks. And so now you've done the blocking videos. I'm now teaching you the natural stance. Add this in. So understand what that body position is and try to put that into your practice. So as you review those blocking videos, please add this and think about your natural stance. Add that to the equation, and you're going to start to develop a more complete technique. Okay, if your body is not in the correct position, you won't have a complete technique. So we want that. All right, so the other part of the natural stance that I want to just mention, and this will become more and more important as we go, is where's your weight in your feet? Okay, so when our feet are in this position, parallel to each other, knees slightly bent, hips relaxed, posture up, all right? When we're in that position with our body, the weight you should feel in the balls of your feet, okay? So don't be clenching your toes into the floor, and don't be leaning back on your heels, all right, lifting the toes up or something like that. Don't be out on the edge of your feet like this, or collapsing your ankles down like this so that the outside edge picks up. You want your feet to feel the floor from the big toe around the foot to the heel, okay? When I say around, to the outside edge of the foot, okay? So you're going to feel that connection around the outside of your foot. And the weight should be down in the ball of the foot. So as you stand there, if you had to lift your heels quickly, you could do that, okay? So that's your natural stance. Fists are out in front of you like this. The attention stance. The attention stance is simply when your feet come together. Your feet are together, your hands are open, and they're at your side. Okay, so they're here at your side like this, and your feet are together. So this is not together. Okay, you want to get them together, and your posture's up. This is a much more, think, military, 10 hot, right? This is a much more rigid posture. This is used primarily for bowing. We do use it for other things as well. There are times in your art when you want to be completely straight up, and this would be that maximum height that you can get. Granted, you can rise up on your toes, but now you're going to be tippy, okay? So there are times when we want this maximum height. So this is what we're doing right now. We're trying to make ourselves tall. We're trying to keep ourselves narrow. And this stance is used primarily for bowing. So now let me talk about the bow. All right, the bow is how we show courtesy and respect to what it is we're doing. We show courtesy and respect to each other. We show it to the space we train in. We show it to the teacher. You often will see me bowing on the videos. All right, so I'm doing that more out of habit and respect, courtesy for you, but also for what I'm teaching. And everything I'm teaching has come to me in one form or another from one of my teachers. I have many teachers. And I love and respect them all. All right, so the bow is, in a way, as I'm teaching, it's also to them. All right, so when we bow, we're showing courtesy and respect. Our hands are at our sides, which we've already accomplished by stepping into the attention stance. Our feet are together, and we are upright. When we bow, it is courtesy to bow with your eyes forward in our system. I have another video that I'm making for you guys that talks a little bit about systems and styles, all right? And I'd like you to take a look at that. In our system, we bow with our eyes forward. We are showing that we are respectful of the person we're bowing to, but we're not giving them the back of our neck by dropping our head, all right? So when we bow, our eyes stay forward. I'm not dropping my head down. If I drop my head down, I'm exposing the back of my neck, and I don't want to expose the back of my neck. All right, I want to keep my awareness around me at all times. So in our system, when we bow with alertness. All right, we keep our eyes directly on our partner. So we look at our partner and we bow. And how far am I bending? I'm bending this far. Okay, this far. This far. Okay, I'm not bending way down. I don't have to fold myself over like I'm stretching. I want to go way down here, and it's not one of these. Okay, it's not just that, and it's not this. Okay, so you're actually inclining your body, your hips move back just a little bit to allow that to happen, and you bow forward. And your hands stay in position. They do not slide anywhere when you bow. So you're not stroking your legs down and up when you bow or bringing them to the front when you bow. Okay, you just keep it here and you bow. All right, so that's the bow. Again, it's to show courtesy and respect, and it is not for any religious reason or anything like that. It's simply to show courtesy and respect, and it's a piece of the Japanese tradition that we have incorporated into our martial art. It's come with our martial art. Our martial art comes from Asia, in Japan, in China, and in Korea are the roots of our system. They come here, and then we've added a lot of American to it, and that's in my little video about styles and systems. All right, so if you want to learn more about that, you should take a look at that video. All right, so anyway, that's it. Your natural stance is here. Your attention stance is here. Your bow is here. The other thing that you need to know, and I'm not doing this mirror image for you, is that when we step from our natural stance to our attention stance, or our attention stance to our natural stance, we move our right foot, always. Okay, so we don't do that mirror image. If I'm teaching you, I might do it mirror image. Okay, I might do it mirror image. So I might say, all right, so you're standing there now, you're going to move your right foot, and you move your right foot, and I move my left. All right, so that we're mirror image. But when we practice and we're in our group or we're in our circle or we're in our lines or whatever it is we're practicing alone in our apartments, we move our right foot. So our left foot stays, our right foot moves. Remember, for this, I'm not your mirror image right now. So when we would do this, we'd say natural stance. We'd say step to an attention stance. Your right foot moves to your left. You bow. And then to go back out to the natural stance, your right foot goes out. So your right foot goes out when you do this. Okay? But from here, there's something our hands have to do too. So before our right foot even goes out, our hands are going to come up to our chamber. And now our right foot's going to go out. And then we just take our natural stance and we punch our hands down. Okay, so we would say attention, bow, chamber, and out. And we would add a ki there. I'll talk about that in another video. All right, thanks a lot. There you have it. Practice, please.